Right, today I bring you to my absolute shithole of a garden. Oh, I've got all my boat rods there, I've got copper there that's got to be cleaned up. My pond's got dirty, just because of the sun, I think. I've got a bit of scrap in the van, I've got to sort my rods out. I'm going to cut all the brass off this copper today, because there's loads of bits in there full of brass. What have I got here? I've got a few bits of brass in there that need to be sorted out. Ugh. Get it off there. I've got some more copper in there. That bag is full of copper and brass that needs to be cleaned up as well. All these lumps of copper out of a what are they out of? A swimming pool heater, I think. And then there's a bit of copper in there that's clean, and then more shit, absolutely loads of it, and then there's my shed. Again, absolutely brimming with a load of rubbish. Apart from, I've got more rods, cage for the dog when she needs it, more rods. Oh, it's ridiculous. There's another rod hanging up over there. I've got a big box full of bolts for Jonathan. Nice little stack of memory there that I'm saving. Oh, there's all sorts in there. More bolts, chips, and God knows what else. Let me move this rod out of the way. So guys, anyone in my local area, that, especially if you work with computers or whatever, and you don't scrap your own boards, please let me know. Let's leave that there without breaking anything. There's another board, a couple of nice chips on it. Yeah, there's a lot in there. There is a lot in there. There's some absolute crud in there as well, but I did keep everything. It's a monstrous board. There's not much on that, I don't think, but I'm sure it's there's a big chip on the back, but there's 2 chips on the back, 3 chips on the back. Yeah, so, and obviously hard drives and things. So that all goes to my e-waste boiler. I've also got here, a bit more copper that needs cleaning up. There's a brand new clutch there that I got off of Charlie the other day, so thanks for that, mate. That is for a Nissan Trooper. So if anybody needs a clutch for a Nissan Trooper, it is brand spanking new in the box. What else did I want to show you today? So in the van, I've got a bit of crap. Still, the price of that has gone right down apparently. Let me turn you around. I'm here, it's just looking terrible. Yeah, that's gone right down to like 150, 170 a tonne down here, which is really bad. I mean, I've heard of it worse, but that was well before I was doing any scrapping. So, the biggest thing I've got to tell you, I didn't film it because it was too good to be true, if I'm honest. The other day I was fishing out of my boat and with my mate Matt, and on the way home, just along the road from his house, there was an outboard engine, like an outboard boat engine, laying on the side of the road, on the grass verge. So, well, it was there for scrap, and I honestly thought it was scrap. So, we quickly pulled over, and the fella whose it was sitting outside, and he said, literally, he split it in half, so you take the bottom end of the engine off the gearbox, because it was too heavy to lift off of his boat. So they took the bottom end off the gearbox, chucked that outside, and then took the top end, the actual engine, the block itself, off, and they put that down with it. I've since brought it home. He told me there was nothing wrong with it. He gave me the controls, he gave me the keys, all the cables, even a fuel tank. He said there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. It just needs a new impeller, which, for those that don't know, is just like a little rubber wheel with like teeth on it, if you like. It looks like a star, and it goes inside the bottom of the gearbox, and what that does is when you start the engine, that will spin and it sucks water in through the bottom of the engine, pushes it up, and it circles the engine to keep it cool. Now that's like a service part, if you like a filter or a spark plug, and they need to be changed once a year. If the engine's not pumping water, it's not going to last very long, because it will just seize up. It gets too hot and seize up. So they're 30 odd quid. I bought one of them. It needed new oil. The oil was about 50 quid, so the oil was quite expensive, but it's one of them things. But basically, we've had it running already. I will show you more of that. But yeah, what a find for scrap. I've heard all sorts of different prices what it could be worth, but I mean there might even be a chance it could be worth £2 grand. If it is all running, singing and dancing. Once it's all bolted back together, the new impeller comes, that's coming Monday. Once it's all bolted back in and it looks all nice and it's clean and running properly, then we'll go. But I don't know whether I'm going to sell it or whether I'm going to buy a boat and put it on the boat. Yeah, I would absolutely love a boat, a proper one. I say I'd love a boat. The only thing with that is it's stuck then. I could buy a trailer boat, but I ain't got a tow bar and I hate towing. It's just crap. If I had a boat, I'd have to keep it moored, and I'd want to keep it down on the south coast, and it's a lot more money. So the engine might just be getting cashed, but it will be my best ever scrap day if it is. Obviously, I've sorted Matt out a drink for it, and my mate who's basically not rebuilding it, but putting it all back together, making sure everything's running. He's an absolute genius with any type of engine, whether it be motorbikes, lawnmowers, outboards, cars, vans, lorries, whatever. He knows his stuff. So it's round his house at the minute, which is only along the road from me, to be fair. It's heavy though, it weighs 100 kilos, and that's the thing, because I'm into boats and outboards and fishing and all that sort of stuff. In a way, obviously I'm glad I found it, because it's worth money to me, but I just think if just an everyday scrap man would have come across it, or one of the non-natives, in the nicest possible way, come across it, I can't help but think it would have just been slung in the back of the estate car, or slung on the back of a transit and tipped off at the yard. And that would have been heartbreaking to see that. Going down there and seeing that smashed up, people with truck washing machines and stuff on top of it, yeah, it would have broke me up. Right, I'll tell you what, let's go and have a quick look in the van, and then I'm going to get back to just cutting this copper off. I've only got my grinder, so I'll just cut all the bits of brass off. I might sort my VIR out as well, because I've got buckets. Look at this, look. It's jank. Buckets of VIR and fridge pots, and there's just literally bits and bobs everywhere, which is really annoying. I'll tell you what, let's go out to the van quick. And then, yeah, later on today, I'm going to go and have a weigh-in, because to be fair, I ain't done one this week at all, and it's Friday. And yeah, I've spent more money than I've earned, so I need to put some back in the bank. Oh, babies again. Bits. Little bits. Oh. I know most of you are big burly men, and you're not interested in little baby puppies, but how can you not be interested in them cute little things? Yeah, mate, go back to your mum. So she had three boys and 2 girls, I think. Yeah, I'm a bit burnt and all. Oh, I got so burnt yesterday, it's unbelievable. Where's my keys? Where's my keys? There's my keys. Yeah, it was pretty jank, if I'm honest. My legs are like, oh, I feel like somebody's run a belt sander over the tops of them. Right, let's see what's in the van. Wait, unlocks. It looks like a lot, but it really ain't. I picked this Bernie bin up in this barbecue this morning. Still got a bit of fishing gear in it as well. There's a cooker in there. There's a load of other crap metal, and there's quite a few PVC window frames over the back. I would open the side door and show you, but it's a pain to unlock. So yeah, so there's quite a few PVC frames. You can quite see them over the back there. To be honest, at the minute they're worth more than metal. Obviously metal weighs more, but they're worth like, I think it's like £300 a tonne, and the metal's just dropped off the face of the earth. It's really, really bad at the minute, to be fair. So yeah, there's an alloy wheel in there somewhere, there's a car battery in there somewhere, there is a few other bits and bobs, but I would have thought in here now, even with the amount of metal that is in here, I would have thought there's probably about 40 quid's worth, because it don't weigh anything. It might even be less than that, to be fair, guys. It might even be like 30 quid's worth, which that's when it's really, really bad, you know. But like I say, I'm going to get all that copper cut up a day, and if there's 20 or 30 kilos of copper there, that'll make up for it. And that'll just put a little bit of dough back in the bank. What I'll do is, I've got a couple of pictures so far on my phone because I want to get this video made and get it out today really, and I'm not going to be able to show you much of the engine because it's not here. So what I'll do is I'll just put a couple of pictures up with the engine on its stand without the gearbox because that's all we've got at the minute, and you can just see what I mean. But yeah, it's a BF40 Honda engine for anyone that knows what I'm talking about. It's a lovely engine, to be fair, lovely engine. So yeah, right, I will bring you back probably at the scrapyard. Here's the pictures. Quite a bit of it now ready, to be fair. This is just the last little bit. So all I'm doing with the grinder is just putting little slits in it, breaking it in half, and that'll go. Copper, brass, copper. It's literally that simple. There are a few bits that might need a little bit more. To be fair, wrong one. Sometimes you can never get it all off. You'll be there for hours and hours and hours, and just if you've got, I'm not saying just one little bit of copper. If there every now and again, if there is a little bit of brass, a cheeky little bit of brass still left on your copper, you'll probably get away with it. If you don't, find another scrapyard because they're miserable gits, basically. They've got all the machinery, proper big machinery, to clean it all up if they need to. But I've seen some of the stuff over the yards that people weigh in as whatever, and they get away with it. Like I say, every now and again, a little tiny bit, you'll be alright. So yes, that is basically it. Little bucket of brass. I took my big bucket of brass in actually last week, which again I forgot to record. But there was like, what was it, 58 kilos. Paid about 200 and something quid, something like that I think. I took that in the other day. Get out. Obviously the more copper you can get, the better, because copper is worth more than brass. Sometimes it's just one of them things. That can stay, because I can't be arsed. I do watch some of the American scrap channels actually, and well, I've seen a couple of the American scrap channels, and they clean it up to the point where, I don't know, it's ridiculous. Like their brass, yeah, specifically their brass. Oh, I ain't got no taps. I've bloody weighed them all in. But they will literally, they'll have that open. They'll open all this up, and anything inside this unit that isn't brass, they will take out. So it's all pure brass. Now, alright, maybe I might get a little bit more. I don't know if my scrapyard pays more for. I don't know if my scrapyard pays more for. I've done it again. So I'm talking and not concentrating. For like, if I had a block of brass, say, and it was just a pure block of brass, and a foot by foot, whatever how big it was, and it was just pure solid brass, I don't know if I'd get more money for that than I would do for that brass, for instance, if that makes sense. Never really come across the big solid bar of brass. But I did a long time ago. It was like a big cylinder. All it reminded me of, it was like the same sort of size as a packet of digestive biscuits or something. It was like that actually. You'd probably about that tall. It weighed 25 kilos, but that was a long time ago. I weren't properly scrapping. I couldn't even drive then. But yeah, I found it, acquired it, and yeah, I think that paid about 50 quid. So yeah, back then it would have been probably about, I don't know, 2 quid a kilo, something silly like that. So yeah, here you are, while you're there. Sorry about the noise. Last bit, really, apart from that, which I'll do in a minute, because that's just a massive ball ache. All I'm doing, if any of you's health and safety, sorry. What am I doing? It's back to front now. That's it. And there we have it. Obviously I'm wearing safety goggles. By safety goggles I mean my eyelids, because safety first and all that. But we are nearly there. We are nearly there. Brass. Like bits like that, That I'm putting down as brass just because it's got. I can't be bothered to cut that copper out. It's going to be a pain in the arse, so I'm going as brass. I know there's a little bit of metal on there that isn't brass or copper, but they're getting a oh, excuse me. The way I see it, they're getting a nice bit of copper out of me for the cheaper price. Therefore, they get a bit of shit too. Things like this are cut up, and I really couldn't be bothered to cut them bits of copper out. So yeah. One of them. Oh, I did just drop a bit of copper on the floor, but you think I'm never going to find. Ah, here it is. So you think I'm never going to find. Ah, that's what I'm going to find it in this shithole. Right, so I'll cut them bits off in a minute, and then I've still got another box out here with bits in. Actually, I'm pretty certain all this is clean. And that's going to go in the brass. Don't know what that was. So let's cut that off. Well, snap it off. Yeah. Happy days. That might even still work, that. Beautiful. That is crud. Right, guys. I'll see you at the scrapyard. What's happening, guys? So I brought you back to my babies. This isn't a little scrap, but I just thought I've got to show you these. So this is my little girl Betsy. She's 3 now. She gave birth so about 3 nights ago. So these will be 3 days old tonight. She's a Jack Cross Shih Tzu. We bought her, I don't know, about 6 months before lockdown. And yeah, she had 5 beautiful little puppies. She's been crossed with a Jack Russell. So these are like 3/4 Jack, 1/4 Shih Tzu. They're still mongrels basically, but they're still cute. Yeah, lovely little things. Right, so today, give me 2 seconds. Picked up a couple of bed frames. I just picked up that chop saw stand, which I'm going to keep. Probably flog that. Just there. I picked up a few other bits off of a mate. So I just thought I'll bring it back and show you what I've got here. While I'm unloading this, I've got the copper and brass in there. A few back. I've just picked up a couple of extra. Sorry for the noise. A couple of extra car batteries. I did want to see if that was Ali, but I don't. Well, it could be. It could be Ali. I ain't moving that yet. That's crap. Drop your wheel. Yeah. Got to get your cable out, people. Especially when it's that good. Hold that bit. Cooker can do one. Beautiful. See you later, cooker. I do like this. Right. Right, guys, listen, you don't want to see me unload this, so I will bring you back when I'm over at the other scalps, weighing and all the other bits. And then obviously I'll show you what we get in a bit. Right, guys, sorry I didn't do much more at the scrapyard. I didn't get the I didn't film on the small scales, but yeah, that's the day's total, 319.67. So we got mixed yard, which is it's changed over my scrapyard. I don't really know what mixed yard counts as, but it's 170 a tonne for 41 £. Ali 11 kilos for just under a tenner. VIR we had only 7 kilos, but it was there, so I chucked it off. Oh no, it weren't. That was that bag of yeah, I had a bit of a touch with that. An alloy wheel, 9 kilos for 11.5 quid. Batteries 46 kilos for £20. The brass was 30 quid. Obviously the winner of the day was the heavy copper, £6.10 a kilo, 164 quid. And the window frames was £27. So yeah, not a bad day, I suppose. It does the job. Yeah, right guys, well that's that. Thank you for watching. to be honest, I'm filming this part about a week later because I completely forgot to post this video. I've got another video ready to go, mostly about that outboard. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I picked up an outboard engine, boat engine, which is worth quite a lot of money. That'll be coming out on the next video. So yeah, I will see you then. Cheers guys, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't.